So today I wanted to talk about something that we haven't really talked about on the channel for quite a while, and that is the capsule wardrobe. And I've been interested in the idea of a capsule wardrobe for quite some time because I think it breeds a lot of positivity around your wardrobe. I really do believe that it helps you get use out of what you already own. It teaches you how to shop your closet. It helps save time and minimize stress and choice fatigue. And I think it really does teach you to be creative and figure out what your personal style is for you. I love the idea of a capsule wardrobe, but I think I did a capsule wardrobe wrong and approached it wrong for many years. So today I want to talk to you all about mistakes I made in my capsule wardrobe, how to avoid them, and how I fix them. And before we get started, I wanted to thank the sponsor of today's video, Karma. You may remember them as Shop Tagger. They are now called Karma, but they're still that same awesome app and Google Chrome extension that you can use to shop more mindfully and save money. Karma for me is a really useful tool because for me, I feel like it really encourages sort of delayed gratification and mindful spending when you shop. It's a tool that I love to use to keep track of the items that I'm interested in. I go in and create wish lists and it will notify me when that item goes on sale so I can decide whether or not I still want it. And if I do, then I get a better deal on it and save some money. For me, when it comes to shopping mindfully, it's all about creating space from the initial wanting of the item to when you actually buy it. And I think Karma is another tool that we can use to help sort of create that habit. I have a few birthdays coming up and a couple of items that I've been eyeing myself, so I can fit these items into my budget and shop a little more intentionally for them. Karma is really easy to install. You just download the Google Chrome extension. When something catches your eye, you just hit the Karma button. It'll save to your wish list, and Karma will email you or send you a push notification of when that item goes on sale or comes back in stock. Karma makes it really easy to plan and organize your purchases and keep track of your items using custom wish lists. Here are just some of the bits that I have my eye on. And if you don't really have time for the item to go on sale, Karma will scan the web for coupon codes and apply them at checkout automatically. So if there's money to be saved, Karma will help make sure that you do. And if you shop at certain retailers, Karma will give cash back to you and to a good cause. So if you want to save a little bit more money and find new ways to help shop a little more mindfully, you can check out Karma and download it to your phone or to your Google Chrome down below. Thanks again to Karma for sponsoring this video. So let's get into my capsule wardrobe mistakes. The first mistake I made when I started building my capsule wardrobes was I was way too focused on the rules. I kind of realized that in a capsule wardrobe, I don't know, there really are no rules because your wardrobe, your style is going to be completely personal to who you are, what you like to do, what you like to wear, and where you live. I have intense Aquarius energy, so for me, I like to be analytical. I like to know the reason behind something, and I like to sort of stick to the rules as best I can. I like to know that I'm like following the directions, following what's been prescribed. I am a pharmacist too, if you didn't know.
I'll go with the pharmacist.
I got really hung up on what it was supposed to look like. And that sort of hyper focus on the rules really made capsule wardrobes no fun for me. For me now, I am not so focused on the numbers. I do feel like having a smaller wardrobe is more helpful to me because it provides less choice, and also, I maintain my kind of comfort level. Like, I know what it is I like to wear. I don't really step outside the box too much anymore because I kind of been there, done that. I know what I like. I know what I'm comfortable in. I know the pieces, the colors, the styles that I like to wear and that I reach for. And that's what makes me feel more at ease rather than focusing so heavily on the number of pieces or what's actually in the wardrobe itself. So when I kind of let go of that numbers game and sticking to the rules as prescribed, that's when I started to feel more at ease in my wardrobe. And that's when a capsule wardrobe started to turn into something that served me and helped me save time, feel less stress, and feel better, rather than me continuously focusing on what I'm doing wrong. The second mistake I made was that early on in my capsule wardrobe journey, I really did turn it into an excuse to fill the gaps in my wardrobe. I really wasn't intentional about what I personally needed or wanted in my wardrobe. I was still very focused on what Pinterest kind of recommended should be in a capsule wardrobe. This infographic says that I should have a gray sweater, so I guess I should go and get one. It kind of fits my personal style. It kind of fits my lifestyle. Or this one says that I should have a little black dress in it, so I guess I'll keep the dresses that I never wear just in case anyway. So I found myself either holding on to things that I really didn't use, didn't feel good in, and didn't really deep down want to keep, or I found myself shopping and browsing for things that I wanted to add because I was supposed to, rather than it actually being something that I thought about and that I genuinely wanted for myself. I really found that at the beginning I would sacrifice my own tastes and needs and lifestyle in favor of creating this idyllic minimalist capsule wardrobe, when really a lot of that didn't work for me. The third mistake was that I often looked at the capsule wardrobes I created from a perspective of scarcity rather than one of abundance. Before I started decluttering and really pursuing minimalism as a lifestyle, I did a count of my clothing and a wardrobe inventory. I had over 250 pieces of clothing, not including underwear, swimwear, athletic wear, so I'm pretty sure my number easily exceeded the 300s. I had a massive wardrobe. So when I first started to embrace the idea of a capsule wardrobe and get interested in it and hoping to reap the benefits of it, I felt constrained by it at the beginning. Aiming for a 36-piece wardrobe didn't feel abundant to me. If you're used to approaching your wardrobe in certain ways, and that's shopping and chasing trends and adding more and more and more, going from 300 pieces of clothing to a mere 36 or 40 can feel a little scary, a little intimidating, and a little restrictive. I didn't quite yet understand that less could really be more, but the more I did it, the more I kind of realized that that was actually true. So if you're building your capsule wardrobe for the first time, it may feel like not a lot of clothes, but I think as you go through it, you realize that maybe there's more in there than you think you really need. My fourth mistake was that I made it a numbers game. I was so intensely focused on making it work with the prescribed number of pieces. I felt like I couldn't be a true minimalist, or that I was doing it wrong if there wasn't 33 pieces. I think it's really important to realize that in your capsule wardrobe, the number of pieces that you feel you need and actually use is going to be different for everybody. I think the 33, 36, 40, whatever is a really good guideline. I think it helps you build a capsule wardrobe that you can wear for the season that still provides a lot of variety, but I think use that as a guideline. Yours may be a little bit bigger depending on what kind of climate you live in, what kind of accessories you may or may not need. Like I live in Canada, we have real deal full-on winters where you need a parka, even cleats for your shoes. It's a whole thing. So my winter capsule wardrobe, for example, may have more than 40 pieces because that's what I need if you're counting everything. I don't think you're gonna be this like perfect minimalist all of a sudden, this perfect capsule wardrobe aficionado when you have a 36-piece wardrobe and that's it. I don't really think that's the point. It's more about function, what you feel good in, and what works for you and your lifestyle. The fifth mistake I made was sticking to someone else's color palette. Ever notice how many neutrals are in these capsule wardrobe examples? There's black, there's white, there's beige. I mean, for me, I pretty much only wear black and white, but for a while I bought a ton of pieces that I realized didn't really flatter my complexion. I bought them just because they were prescribed or because they were strongly recommended. A lot of you guys said in a color tone thing, I'm a winter, I guess. I have high contrast, so really stark, bold colors look better on me and my complexion, like true whites, true blacks, things like that. So I had a lot of mid-tone, low contrast pieces in my closet that never really felt quite right whenever I reached for them. And it's because they were of a color palette that I didn't really like wearing, that always felt kind of off on me, and that I bought because I saw that a bunch of other people were wearing those colors. So for your capsule wardrobe or your minimalist wardrobe, stick with the colors and tones and patterns that you like and that you know work for you. For me, I did embrace that stereotypical black and white monochromatic minimalist wardrobe, but that's what I know I enjoy, that works for me, then that's what I gravitate towards. For you, if it is creams, beiges, bright colors, bright reds, pinks, patterns, whatever you want, rock it. The sixth mistake to avoid is that there's no need to start from scratch. A capsule wardrobe does really endorse a lot of benefits like saving time, less choice fatigue, figuring out your personal style, and there's tons of recommendations on the internet of how to build one, the pieces that you need, and how to get started. I think all of those are really useful jumping off points, but recognize that it is not a reason to throw out your entire wardrobe, go on a shopping spree, and start from scratch. I find a lot of times the word capsule wardrobe gets thrown around and it just turns into another excuse to go shopping, to add trends to your wardrobe, and to even add the perfect basics. It becomes another excuse to go on the hunt to fulfill this fantasy perfect wardrobe. And that doesn't necessarily have to be the case. For me, I kind of decluttered my way into my personal style. I mean, I wouldn't recommend over shopping and then decluttering a bunch of stuff to find it, but there's more intentional and less wasteful and more economical ways to build a capsule wardrobe, and that's really going to start with what you already have. So don't feel like you have to start from scratch. Don't feel like you need to go out and buy this whole new wardrobe. You don't have to. Get started with what you've got and then move from there. The seventh mistake I made was that I compared my capsule to everybody else's. The capsule wardrobe is not another opportunity to get caught in the comparison trap. It's about figuring out your personal style, figuring out what it is you like to wear, and what you feel you're best in. That's not going to be the same as her wardrobe or their wardrobe. Your life is not their life, and also remember that what's kind of shared on the internet is more often than not a very highly curated, highly idealized representation of reality. It's usually kind of a half-truth where maybe these pieces aren't worn as often as you might think, and maybe these pieces also just practically don't work in your life. Maybe they don't fit your lifestyle, maybe they don't fit what you do for work. Maybe you work from home and you don't even need to get that dressed up for work anymore. Your capsule wardrobe is supposed to be something that's tailored to you, your needs, and your lifestyle. It's gonna look completely different than anybody else's, so I really encourage you to do your best not to get caught up in the comparison trap. That's not what this is about. The eighth mistake I made was that when I built my capsule wardrobe, I assumed that it would be the perfect solution and that it would never change, that I would never want to go shopping again. I mean, if you're talking in the context of wants versus needs, I think that can be true, but at the same time, I know that I really like fashion, I like getting dressed, and I also know that personal style and the items that I like to wear all the time may change later on in the future. Someday I may loathe this tank top, but I think it makes my shoulders look good. I don't know. But I think understanding that style is fluid, needs are fluid, and lifestyles are fluid and ever changing, it's gonna mean that your wardrobe will probably change within that time period too. Mistake number 9 was that I over-decluttered, in the sense that I was on a ruthless mission to get rid of as much things as I possibly could. Ultimately, I don't regret the things that I did declutter, but I didn't give myself the option to store those things away and potentially revisit them and reuse them at a later date. So all I'm saying is that if there's pieces that you feel maybe about that you don't necessarily want to wear right now, or they're not really appropriate for the season, you don't necessarily have to get rid of them. You can store them away and incorporate them into the next season of your capsule wardrobe if that's something that you want to do. And my final mistake with the capsule wardrobe was that I simply missed the point. When I started exploring minimalism, the wardrobe for me was a source of stress and anxiety, and the capsule wardrobe was supposed to be the solution to that. But for a really long time, it was just another source of anxiety for me because of all the mistakes that I talked about in this video. I focused too much on what was supposed to be in it. I compared myself to others. I thought I wasn't being minimalist enough with the number of pieces in my wardrobe. I straight up missed the point. So when I stopped sort of following the rules and more listened to my gut and paid attention to what it is I actually liked, what I actually wore, and how I was actually feeling, like I stopped wasting all of my time analyzing my wardrobe so much and instead just started wearing it and wearing what I felt like and getting rid of the things that got in the way. That's when I started to really feel the benefits of a capsule wardrobe more. I think it's a tool to help you find your peace a little more and help you find and be more comfortable with yourself and within your style, and I missed the point for a whole lot of that. So these are some of the capsule wardrobe and minimalist wardrobe mistakes that I made, but I hope after watching this video you found ways to avoid making some of the same mistakes that I did and make that capsule wardrobe experience one that it's meant to be. It's gonna help you figure out your personal style, get use out of the clothing you already have, create less waste, commit to the clothing that you already have, and so you can save more time and feel less stressed about getting dressed in the morning every day. Thanks again to Karma for sponsoring this video. Again, if you were interested in downloading the app or the Google Chrome extension, I will leave all that info down below for you. Leave this video a thumbs up if you liked it. It really truly does help out my channel, and it's a great way that you can help support me. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. See you in the next one, guys. Bye.